Yes. All right, we'll move on to number 16, which is the proposed revision to the 2014-2015 school calendar, and I suppose that's Mr. Bounds.
Yes, Madam Chair. A few months ago, I brought to you our calendar, and the challenge from Dr. Hefner was not to have to bring it back more than once, but unfortunately, the State Department of Education did not cooperate and changed some HSAP testing dates. So we propose to you this evening that we move up our spring break. That would be the only change. And the reason is because that would give our students a week back in their classrooms before they had to take HSAP testing. So we've reviewed this with Dr. Melton, and she's taken it to the principals, and that's the recommendation to you this evening.
Okay, any questions by the board members? Okay, if you have any, certainly you can talk to, oh yes,
I'd
Mr.
like
Gant.
to raise a concern. As I was looking at this, I couldn't quite figure out what the change was. I do notice that we have a general election on November the 4th, and that is a staff development teacher workday, so we won't have students in school. But I have to think, and obviously we've seen this before, but I know what some elections in the very recent past have meant at some of our schools, and I don't know. I don't want to bring up another change to this, but I'd like for us, since this is a discussion, I'd like for us to think about that. Several reasons. I know that I know what went on a couple of elections. I hope we never see it again, but there's no guarantee of that. But if we've got our staff development going, if that's a collective staff development in one or two of our schools or three of them, it could impact our faculty could be impacted, the election could be impacted. And to me, it also, even though our work day is not the full election day, I'm sure we have faculty and staff that probably want to take part in the whole process more than parts of the morning or afternoon. If they did, they'd be somewhat, I guess it could take leave, but I don't know if we allow leave on staff development. Just a thought, as I was looking at this, that might be something to
Yes, sir.
consider.
We would, since we're making a change to the spring break time, we could take a school and office close date and move it to that November 4th date and move a teacher work day into the spring. But I would defer to Dr. Melton to look at that in detail to make sure that there's no educational impact before we come back to the board. So we'll look at that, and we'll talk to some board members and bring you back the revised calendar for approval at our next meeting.
Thank you.
Good point. Any other comments about the school calendar? All right, thank you. And, my goodness,
Yes.
number 17 is adjourned. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Ms. Lovelace?
I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
All right, is there a second? Ms. Baumgartner, any discussion? All in favor, raise your hands. All opposed? That passes 5-0.
Very good.
We're adjourned.
Not bad.